Grand Awakening, it's Goddess Life here, aka Cake, aka KK, aka Christina, aka Riley Escobar, aka Riley B up in them street. Just kidding. Anyway, first few, not the last two. Anyway, I just wanted to come on here and have a chat, a little tete-a-tete, if we will. There's some things that's been bothering me, and let's talk about it, okay? First off, this Nolan Wells debacle that's going on right now in the state of Mississippi, who apparently doesn't care about anyone's meteorological assessment. The state of Mississippi only apparently cares about getting this here case buried by sundown. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Little reference to the movie Life, if you're into movies like I am. But it's if you haven't been following the story, young Nolan Wells was on a boat trip with his friends who were Caucasian, okay? Most of the people in the city, the town, the state are Caucasian. So that's not some sort of negative thing that we're pointing out. It's the truth. He was the only black kid on the boat, okay? Went to this island, never came back. There's a whole bunch of discrepancies and misspokings and whatnot about what happened to him, what time he was last seen by his, alleged friends. There's a whole phone call to a CETO company that is, their job is to come help boats in distress. And this boat that allegedly Nolan was or was not on, came there on, but did not leave there on. There's a whole phone call where you can hear talkings going on in the background that sound very suspect. There was a statement early on by a young lady named Katie McCormick who saw Nolan just in passing and spoke, and she was one of the first people who came out and said that, I saw him and we spoke briefly. He said he was getting back on the boat with his friends, and that was it. So now it's looking like that's not it. It's looking like there was some more stuff that has to go along with that as it pertains to Miss Katie. I had given props at the beginning of the whole thing because I felt like, she came out and she made her statement and lawyered up. Yeah, all of the kids that were involved, friends of Nolan's, lawyered up pretty early on before he was even found and pronounced dead. These kids had lawyers and stuff. So speaking of lawyers, they have one now who is a former Trump lawyer. And this is what's bothering me about this whole thing. This former Trump lawyer that has come to town to defend these young men because apparently they've been slighted because people are accusing them or calling them racist or whatever, some names, right? Where an actual kid has actually died and his mother and father, one child short now, but they're the victim somehow, and they need it's something like a GoFundMe, but it's a fun source that MAGA people use when they get caught calling people a nigger and stuff and lose their jobs, and all the MAGites donate to this. It's not GoFundMe, but it's like it, right? So these boys are being slighted because, they're good name, they're good all-American boys, and they've been being accused of these dastardly deeds. Well, they keep going on these interviews and cross-talking and double-talking and saying one thing 1 second and literally 4 seconds later negating that one thing that they said and saying something else. And so that we're supposed to look the other way. We're not supposed to be like, okay.
At 12:15.
Yeah, it was 12:15 exactly. If I'm not mistaken, it was.
Now you see something. Now you see now. You done fucked up, you know that, don't you?
It's some shit going on here. Anyway, that it is bothering me to no end of the things that's going on in Mississippi, especially with this Nolan Wells case. They're going after the community is going after Nolan Wells' mother. There's somebody who's making complaints to the nursing board. This woman is a nurse practitioner, PhD, I think. If not, at least she has her master's. You know what I mean? Well-educated, successful black woman. She's black and Filipina, but black woman. And they're going after, she just lost her child and doesn't even know what happened to him yet. because the coroner's office in the state of Mississippi, they don't have to release any of their findings for autopsy. So the family, rightfully so, I would do the same, God forbid, but they ordered a private autopsy, but they didn't have all of Nolan Wells's body parts in order to make some sort of assumption about what even happened to him. His body was shipped to the private autopsy place, person secondary in Washington, D.C., with no throat, no lungs, and no stomach. Well, we need all of those things to determine if his breath was cut off, how his breath was cut off prematurely, before death or led to death. If there was water in his stomach, was it pool water? Was it ocean water? Was it freaking Evian water? We don't know. We don't know if there was water in his lungs. That's what I meant, water in his lungs, or what the content of his stomach was, like last meal, or anything that could direct us to what happened to this young man. And it's like their community, of course, it feels like, it seems like they're covering up for one another. They are gone and got this Trump attorney, so you know exactly what that means. And all the while, this case is just, I feel like I think they closed the case on their end. They refuse to divulge their autopsy results because they say they don't have to. In the interest of being decent people with compassion, why wouldn't you release those results? If it was an accidental drowning, then prove it. Let us see what your, evaluations, your assessments said. But they won't do it. So this is getting to be a huge thing, right? And alongside this, in the background of this, they've got all of these young people, young girls, young women, look like children in some cases, found hanging and swinging from trees and shit, way too high up for them to have done it themselves, that have been, coincidentally, by the same coroner's office, ruled as suicide. All of them. And same coroner's office that examined Nolan Wells said, saying it was an accidental drowning, but won't release not even the organs, but their evaluation or assessment, examination notes, report of these organs that corroborate their story of an accidental drowning. That should be easy enough to do. And that should be, something that you wouldn't think twice about if you're in that position to have that information to release it, unless that's not what the fuck was going on. And so we are being played like a funky piano in our faces over this Nolan Wells situation. And God forbid, all the while I could just think, this is terrible. It's just awful. And as far as we've come in this country with racism towards blacks and things of that nature, things like injustice and situations that never get solved, we've gone nowhere. Like I feel like we've gone backwards because we have technology now, right? They could say some stuff 50 or 60 years ago and everybody would shrug it off and be like, oh, okay. But now we're at a point where our intelligence and our technology is up. And things can be resolved and found out a lot sooner, a lot more detail, with a lot more depth to it than ever before. And we are getting nothing. So, that's bothering the shit out of me. It really is. As a Black American, as a Afro-Indigenous American, and seeing all of these things and understanding our history and having history of my own, it just bothers the hell out of me. But we'll get back to that before I crash out. Another thing that's bothering me, have y'all heard about this U.S. naval situation with these the Lincoln, I think it's called the Lincoln aircraft carrier out in the waters over here by Iran? I heard a long time ago, I think it was like 6 months ago, 4 months ago, let's say 4 months ago, sources have said that the food was running low on the ships, that hygiene products were dwindling, and that there was no way to get them any more supplies. To the soldiers, to the naval soldiers that are serving their country out here on this aircraft carrier in this illicit, illegal, unsanctioned war that we are in still currently with the country of Iran, right? We are still in this war, this unsanctioned, illegal, illicit war with Iran. And it just seems to have no end. We're in talks, we're out of talks. We're in negotiations, we're making a deal, there's no deal. We got a deal, the deal has been now breached by third-party individuals who want to just go ahead and proceed with warring in other nations that have been decided that they weren't to do that anymore, right? With no consequences. So these naval soldiers are on this aircraft carrier, likely starving, and apparently losing their minds because 6 or 7 of them then tried to jump off the boat, and it's a 10-story, like it would be comparable to a 10-story high building. So that would be a fatal fall. It's not like they're going to, jump off and swim somewhere and try to get some help or whatever. They're losing their minds, and their sanity is dwindling because they aren't being fed properly, sources say, allegedly, and because their hygiene products, everybody walking around here stanking and can't brush their teeth, and that makes you feel bad. You know what I'm saying? That can lead to infection and illness. I'm not saying that it has led to infection and illness. I'm saying that it can, and we don't know exactly what's going on those ships because they don't want us to know that much. That they got our soldiers, our Americans, all Americans, right? Our American soldiers over there starving, sleeping on floors, and not being able to do laundry, and something's wrong with their, what is it called? Their septic system, not septic, that's not the word I was looking for, but the salination, I don't know. Anyway, their system that cleans the water and stuff like that for them. So now it doesn't sound like that they have clean drinking or bathing water. Even if you don't have any soap, it'd be nice to be able to put some water on your body. It doesn't sound like that's being able to happen either, sources say. And they're getting fed stuff that doesn't even look like food. That when they get, a shipment, the food is rotten, produce is rotten, the milk is spoiled, vegetables are spoiled. All they get was some meat because it was frozen. It was already frozen. And then when they are served this meat, it looked unidentifiable to me. It's just a bad situation. It's shameful. It is very shameful to have our American servicemen over there who have vowed to protect our country over in this predicament, not being cared for, not being taken care of. Their loved ones can't even send them care packages because there's no way to get to an aircraft carrier or something like that, sources say, allegedly, or some shit like that. It doesn't make any sense. It's infuriating as a child of Army. I'm an Army brat, right? I never went into service, but I know a lot of people who did. And the military, whether or not you agree with being in the military or whatever the case may be, or fighting for this country, whatever it is, right? You're entitled to your opinion. But I think we all can agree that it's disgusting, awful, horrible, terrible to have people and people's children and stuff over in that predicament in the middle of the sea with all of this lack going on in a war that has seemingly no end. And you know what else I heard sources say? Sources say that there is someone willing to help them. They need supplies, they need food, no problem. We'll get them too. We'll give them to them. We'll give them some supplies and food and stuff because why the fuck wouldn't anyone? But guess who that allegedly was? Iran. What fucking timeline is this? This is crazy. It's crazy. It's recycled insanity that we're living in right now. But here's a bit of insight, wisdom, based on spiritual technology for you. Here's a practical technique that we can all kind of join in on together. If you feel the same way that I do and would like to manifest justice and would like to manifest peace and would like to manifest, people being able to live in life with things like food and shelter and health care, little basic things that the big bad bitch ass bill has seen fit to remove from American people, myself not exempt. I got some stuff taken away from me too. But I manifest, I don't stress. You know what I'm saying? So based on a spiritual technological formula or whatever you want to call it, it's based in biblical, scriptural backing, which I feel like the Bible is full of code, but we'll get into that later. But any two, as it touching one thing, come together and, profess something and it shall be done. So that's just like when you join energy with one or more people, it strengthens the intensity of that signal and you are able more to better manifest things into a collective spiritual a collective physical experience. And so I say this, I'm going to put up I'm going to create and put up a meditation. And I think it's just too much to try to say that we can all try to do it from your location, wherever you are. But at the same time, you know what I mean? We're all busy lives and have a lot of stuff going on. School started for many of us and such that. But if you tap into this meditation, and now I put myself on the line, I actually have to do it. I will, though. I will. We can collectively manifest. We can collectively manifest justice from things that are racially motivated. Let's just start specifically, right? If you care about the Nolan Wells case, then let's get together and manifest justice in that situation. If you care about soldiers, American soldiers who are putting their lives on the line and who aren't being as much harmed by the perceived enemy in the war that we're currently in, but by not having provisions, not having resources and personal items and things they need like food, then let's get together and try to do something and make a difference. Of course, if you don't care about any of that, fuck off, log off, get off my page. But otherwise, let us start to put our mind towards the solution, or just looking at what it look like. What does it look like to see justice for something that is more and more increasingly every day not looking like it was an accident and we're covering up for it in the Nolan Wells case? It is more increasingly, in my opinion, which I'm allowed to have in my freedom of speech, which the Constitution supports me in, is looking like some shit went on and they're trying to cover it up. Okay? What does that look like, justice? Just let's pontificate on that for a couple of days. Give me to the weekend to get this meditation out. Let us pontificate and meditate on what does it look like to soldiers have to follow orders. So whether or not they agree in the cause that they have been sent to defend their country in, they're there. So what does it look like to have people who were brave and had enough courage to enlist and be sent and to live on an aircraft carrier for 9 months it has been, with no port of call, no time off the ship, which according to sources that are in the military say that is unheard of, with things breaking down on the ship that contributes to the comfort and the cleanliness of these soldiers, with conditions to where they're not even eating food in its identifiable form. They are eating congealed looking eggs and a strip of bacon that, is it bacon or is it rawhide? Is it dog bacon? What is that? Sources say, who have seen this food and have described it that way. What does it look like to know that our military is being taken care of, to know that they are well, that they are mentally well? Let's start thinking and meditating on what that would look like. I'll get back to you with the meditation and then with further instructions. Okay, that's it. I know this was a long one. If you stayed with me, thank you so much. I appreciate you. You can help my channel by liking, subscribing, sharing. You can also donate to my channel, Goddessly. My handle for Cash App is GODDESSLY. I might cut that part out because I don't remember. I'll post it. Anyway, you can donate or you can simply just like and subscribe. I notice a lot of you like to watch my videos, and I can look in my analytics and see how long and the duration, all that kind of stuff. But you watch it, but you don't like it. Can you like? Can you just can you like it? I mean, what the fuck? That'll help me out a lot, and that'll help me be able to bring you more content. That'll help me be able to carve out more time to come talk to you. Okay? But speaking of time, I gotta go. My time is up right now. Yeah. Let's get into it. I don't like to just talk about a problem, not provide any plausible solutions. I am spiritual. I am a spiritualist, and my solutions are going to involve the spirit. Energy and how we direct it, how we harness it and how we direct it is very important. So I'd like to direct some energy collectively. If you want to join me, just say I'm in the comments or something like that, or say me too. In the comments. Okay, signing off for now. Remember, love yields peaceful, harmonious energy, and this has been a piece of cake.
Are you with it?
Bye.
Are you with it? If you ain't got no money, go and manifest some. If you ain't got no money, go and manifest some. GODDESSLYPHE, yeah. GOD.